Come on up, Kurt, and you got to stand within this line.
Okay.
And then we're going to bring this up. The air's too little, just it's a little too much. Now, come on, Kurt.
All right.
Kurt here is my consultant he's my coach. I want y'all to welcome Coach Kurt Billups to Renew Community Church. Can you all do that? Welcome. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Get it louder. Get it up louder. We want to coach from coach to coach, a different generation of coaching. And today I coached you all and just took my time a little bit. I didn't even get a chance to get you all in our cleanse program. Now, okay, I want you, Coach, we're going to just take the next 15 minutes and then we're going to go off air. We're going to be through in 15 minutes. He's going to do most of the talking, but I want to ask him a question to start out. And you got the charts and you can bring it up. Show them how every emotion, y'all got to listen to this. I got sick family members. I got people that I know. There's people in this room that are sick and they don't want to take responsibility. Many of you all that's even in this room haven't taken responsibility for your own sickness. And you say, well, I didn't create it. Yes, you did. You co-created it with your own negative emotions. We all have done it. And we're not cursed. That we're not cursed. The devil's not cursing us. God is not doing nothing to us. It's not a generational curse. It's none of that, you all. If anything, at the best, it's epigenetic stuff passed down from your parents. But even at that, you got to take responsibility for your life and reverse your life. So tell us right now how negative emotions is tied to organ sickness and walk us through that. And I'll just kind of stay here. Yeah, I want to stay in frame.
Definitely stay in the frame because we kind of bounce off each other when it
go
comes
on.
to this information.
Take your liberties. You can walk up. Take your liberties.
I appreciate it. So first of all, thank you all for having me. And I know Brother Winburn, or Master Winburn as I call him, is very generous to me when he talks about my coaching and his, but the truth is this brother has been my mentor for several years. And a lot of what I bring to you today and in any of my engagements with anybody will come from a lot of the whole brain theory, emotional intelligence, understanding how this system works. So what we're going to do today, and I don't think I'm going to take 15 minutes, Doc. I think I can wrap it up in about 6 or 7 minutes because you did a real good job on this one. What we're going to start learning how to do is speak body. You ready? What we gonna learn? How to what? What we learning? So y'all know how to speak mind. That's what's driving y'all crazy. No, I'm serious. Y'all in your head all day, every day. You have not learned effectively how the whole system works. So there's not just a brain in your head. The whole system is brain. Y'all ready? Repeat after me. I am a system of information. And I am information. Let me say that again. You are biologically, chemically, a system of nothing but information from your head to your toe. This universe that we live in, that we are, this world that we are, is nothing more than a system of information. So as Emerson said, you lie in the lap of immense intelligence, and you don't even know it. Now, let's drive home some of what you was talking about. The connection between emotion and organ. Now, for me personally, to have this conversation in an effective and constructive manner, I got to peel the layers back a little bit. So a lot of people begin at the thought itself. I want y'all to go deeper. Today we talk about what's driving thought. How does thought even come about? Where does it come from? How is it being generated? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? No, because you're too busy being your thinking and not seeing your thinking. We're not designed to be our thoughts. We were designed to see our thoughts. You did. did this. We are designed to see thought. Now here we go. You ready? Your body, my body, Master Winburn's body, is made up of an estimated 30 to 50 trillion human genes. They are sentient. They're autonomous in nature, meaning they have awareness. Uh-oh. I said the whole system is brain. Now, on top of that, you have 5 times as many microbial genes that make up the skin, every organ, every tissue in the body. Are you ready? Again, sentient, autonomous systems of information. Where did you get them from? Where'd you get them? Who did you inherit your genes from? Answer me. Your parents. You inherited your genes from your mother and your father. Are you ready? That means the information that was housed in their system, good or bad, became your information. Most of us are living our mother's trauma and adding on with our own mess. We live in our daddy's trauma and keep adding it on with our own mess. Is this making sense? Doc, I tell you, I got to pause to say this because humor ties into this. And Proverbs 15:30, a cheerful look brings joy to the body. And good news is health to the bones. There is a science that supports every single thing the man is saying. How we feel affects our internal organs, our system, and its functionality. How we think determines how our system functions. Our thoughts are physical. That's not me, that's David Bohm, physicist. Our thoughts are physical. See how that works? Now listen to these statistics. 90% of the healthcare costs today is spent on chronic and behavioral illness. Only 10% on acute and procedures that are considered non-preventable. That's where our healthcare dollar's going. Because our self-care is so weak, our healthcare is picking up a heavy tab. And it's creating a crisis. The leading cause of disability today, according to the World Health Organization, is depression. That is the leading cause of disability. The way we think. Are these good statistics? Okay. Now let's tie it in. Chuck, can you please help me? Yes, sir. So I'm going to wrap up here in a second. I'm going to just touch on a couple of things. Doc, you mentioned earlier, and we say this a lot when we talk, there is some magic and validity and science to embracing your mortality. There's a beauty in embracing your mortality. There's an arrogance that comes with the way we're being programmed and conditioned today to live our lives as if we got all the time in the world to get this right. We got all the time in the world to clean it up, to say I love you, to say I apologize, to say thank you. But I'm telling y'all, like Doc said, nobody gets out alive. Let me say that again. Nobody gets out alive. And here's the other kicker. You don't know when that time coming. So each day you embrace one's mortality, it is a way of allowing yourself to be free to enjoy life on its very limited basis. Is that pretty good? Okay. Somebody brought up genes and predisposition, and we talked about epigenetics. Guys, here's the quick analogy on that. The genes may load the trigger, but the environment, the genes will load the gun, but that environment will always pull the trigger. So yeah, you got mama's mess. You got daddy's mess. But it is your own lack of dealing with that foolishness and detoxing your system so that it doesn't have to metabolize all that mess all the time that's really putting it on you. So mama and daddy did load the gun, but I promise you, the people you hanging around, the way you thinking, that food you eating, that mess you drinking, that is what's pulling the trigger. That's as simple as that, y'all. Okay. So let's look at how emotion can affect organs in the system. So we talked a little bit about the microbial genes and the largest organ on the body, the skin, and yada, yada, yada. But when we start to look at how environment affects the blood, so you got to remember, the blood is what's carrying the information through the cells. The environment is affecting the blood. So if the information that's going into the blood is I am weak, I am worthless, I am poor, I am lonely, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of you, and I'm sick and tired of you, and I'm sick and tired. The blood now accepts that information because we are systems of information and we are constantly in formation. We are in formation till we leave here. Now, the environment has put all this toxic signal in the blood. Now, who has to use that blood? Jesus, man. The kidneys, the bladder, the heart, small intestines, lungs, spleen, liver, gallbladder, the bones, the thyroid, the colon, the skin. We ain't nothing but a skin-covered petri dish, as Dr. Bruce Lipton would say. And the culture medium is the blood. Does it make sense? Now watch this. Dealing with issues with anger. It affects the spleen, the stomach, and the pancreas. That's why so many of y'all running around here going to your GI every week with your IBS. Because you're holding on to all that stress and all that trauma. And that trauma's got to end up somewhere in the body because you're a system of energy. So when that energy moves, it's got to end up somewhere. Now we all running around here with irritable bowel syndrome. I ain't never seen so much IBS in my life. You understand me? You know, everybody in this room knows somebody with IBS. And ain't nobody stopping to say, why is this happening to our system? Look here. All my brothers and sisters across the country, you want to know why you keep stimulating your lungs with nicotine and marijuana? That's grief, sadness, the fear of feeling suffocated. Now, black people, listen to me. In the West, there is no other group of people that has experienced more trauma than we have. We literally inherit trauma, the majority of us, from the womb. From the womb. So when we get to a stage to try to cope, because nobody's giving us this information about self-care and self-mastery. They want you to feel better just for the thought of going to the doctor, when you should feel better just knowing that Christ is your protector. That don't even work for y'all. You can't just call on God and feel better. You got to schedule an appointment with the doc. Make sure I got a ride there. Make sure I ain't late because she don't like when I show up late. Oh, man. Let's finish this up. Let's look at that colon, being unable to digest something or being rigid in your life. That bladder and your reproductive organs. You got sexual conflict or trauma, and there's boundary issues. I got a sister right now struggling to have a child. Because of her trauma with men, her fathers, her uncles, the men she's dated, she has down-regulated her nervous system. Her body now can't support life. Now she can reverse that. Proper nutrition, proper thinking, proper spiritual development. She can upregulate her nervous system. Thyroid, injustice, disempowerment. Liver and gallbladder, ongoing frustrations, repressed anger. All y'all running around with these stiff bones? Too little willpower or over-exercising your willpower.
Doctor, let's stay right there. Don't leave. No, don't stay. I'm going to get in frame. I was talking to Coach Kirk at his fitness place the other day, and I know someone that's going through arthritis pain, and they're having it really, really bad. And he was able to bring out the other side of arthritis. If you have arthritis of any sort going on in your body, you need to check out your inability to forgive. That's rigid. You got this willpower, pride, because you won't forgive yourself and you won't forgive others. I know people to this day that are sick and will die in the condition they're in because they will not forgive themselves and forgive the other person. And a lot of marriages have all this stuff in them. Separation, divorce, all this stuff in family members. I will never forgive him. I will never forgive her. And then they got all this arthritis. And I was just telling a friend of mine the other day, you need to tell your parent, maybe they need to take a look at who they don't like, who they have not forgiven. Are you all here with me? So all y'all arthritis sufferers and stuff, you want to start there. You want to find out who out there you got this pride against that you won't forgive. And there's some people, I'm telling you all, it's sad to see them. And then they're praying, God, heal me. I know people that shout and dance, oh, God, heal me. And they're mean as hell. They're upset. They're angry all the time. They talk about people, and they complain about their sickness all the time. Sick and complaining about it, and then they want you to stay around them and listen to them and encourage them, and they think you don't have compassion. Talk a little bit more about the will.
I mean, Doc, you nailed it. I mean, listen, the body is constantly communicating with us. Again, we started off talking about we're going to start learning how to speak body. The body is constantly signaling. A common cold is the body's way of saying lay down somewhere and rest. You pushing it too hard. That's why he kept getting sick. He giving himself to too many people that don't deserve him. The minute he figured that out, he stopped getting sick.
Also, I stopped doing counseling. I do not do counseling. I keep telling you all, don't call me anymore for counseling. The Bible says, take heed what you say. Here, go to the people that's got the skill to do it. Because I used to do it here. We had them here over at them. I've counseled over 3,000 people, Crystal, listening to everything. I've heard so much stuff, you all, that it literally was making me sick. It actually gave me supraventricular tachycardia. And you know what that means? That's an accelerated heart rate. I said, I'm out of the business of counseling. You all, please understand, I don't want to say this. Go to a counselor. Go to the people that's got the skill. Go to the clinical psychologist. Go to the psychiatrist. I work with these people. I work with social workers. I just don't do that. People call me, Winburn, can we do, I'm not listening to your problems.
Well, Doc, do you know that there's now evidence? And guys, this is the other thing. Yeah. We encourage you to do your own research.
Sure.
There's plenty double-blind studies out there on everything that we're talking about.
Even among
there is
the
now new studies that are coming out that are talking about talk therapy.
Yeah.
It's probably not effective.
No.
or as effective as we thought. Because of the rehashing and the reopening of trauma, it does not initiate a system of moving forward, of putting you back in development. See, depression is being out of development. When I feel depressed, I don't feel like I'm doing nothing. Nothing's moving. Yeah. So when you're out of development, you feel that depressed state. Well, if you keep going into talk therapy and you keep bringing out that negative emotion, that depressed state, this is what you fuel in the system with, and that's going to eventually seep into the organs.
Coach didn't know this. In my book, in my new book, 60 Seconds to Focus Life, I talk about talk therapy, why it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You sit up and keep talking about the same old, he did this to me. They squeezed me here. They ate me there. They tore me up here. They slapped me there. They did this to me there. They hated me there. White people did this to me. Black people did that to me. My mama said this. My mother said I got buck teeth. My daddy said my eyes ain't right. And and all that stuff. And you keep hearing it every week and every week and every week and every week. When you leave the doctor's office, you look like a demon because you're so screwed up. Are y'all here with me? Something that Kurt said, we are a walking, living informational center. When you see me, you see information. And then you say, well, Charles, I hope you never get sick. I ain't going to tell you about it. You'll never know about it. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Because I'm going to keep my happy, but I have it in. Keep going, young man. We're going to wrap.
I'm ready to wrap it up. I just appreciate the time.
You want to finish your argument?
No, I think what we're going to do is supply the Renew with this copy, because this is your copy.
Yes, thank you.
We talked about that, and then you can deliver it to everybody. But, guys, just once you get this out, just the main thing, at the end of this, I just want you to start paying attention to those signals, those subtle signals that the body's sending. And it's like Doc said, the real you is that quiet, still voice when nobody else is around. Then the minute you walk in the world, you change, right? And it all goes out the window and you become all these other roles, right? But in that time, in that still moment, in that meditation, listen to the system. And the other thing I want you to get into understanding, we are designed to heal ourselves. For the most part, in most situations, we have the God-given authority and tools to heal the system. The issue is, though, we've given so much trust and so much belief to people outside of ourselves who haven't really even had the opportunity to study some of the stuff that we're talking about. Because this is stuff that's not really taught in Western medicine. It's not taught in most churches in the West, right? So what we have to do now is stop taking everything at face value, do our own research, question everything, and you'll start finding the answers to improve your health and to improve your quality of life. I appreciate you guys, and I love you in the Lord. Thank you for having me.
Can we all thank him? I'm coming back up. Can we all thank Coach Kurt Billups and really appreciate how we got that organ chart here. He put that together, and I want to thank him. Let's give him one more round of applause and thank him.